that he can confidently tell Kenyans that if you are Christian, that you have to decamp and move to the non-believers because the bishop has been transferred and all the bishop has resigned. I would to tell my good friend that the ground is between 2 term and 1 term, and where the ground is 1 term, there's no way you are going to change. And let me tell you, Kenyans are only waiting for a white smoke at the end of the day. They are, in fact, listen to them. They are saying, you guys unite, give us one candidate. And let me tell you, there is no miracle where William Ruto is going to secure 18 digits. I'm telling you, it's going to be next to impossible.
Don't you think that the problem is more on the opposition side? Okay.
Listen. I think one thing to try draw Gakuya into, one of the findings of this Infotrak is that one place that has been captured to be completely undecided is Mount Kenya. Not a single candidate gets more than 20%. Kenya is still a battleground. Mount Kenya is not completely gone. Number two, in fact, another pointer that should even worry DCP more is the kind of competition UDA is giving DCP in Olkalau. The expectation was it will be a whitewash. It is not a whitewash. They are shaking in their boots because tomorrow will confirm and the figures will have something to tell. Any tight contest between UDA and DCP confirms that UDA can work to convert the 40%, which would be beyond expectation if they're able to get that in terms of in a presidential election. And that's why my concern would be, I would want to agree and disagree with Mutambu in one way. I will disagree with him that transferability can't happen. It can happen. Transferability happens across the divide. There are those that will lean towards an opposition ticket, joint ticket. Others, if there's a disagreement, they will always lean towards government. So what it does then, it now strengthens into 2 blocks. And we've seen this happening over and over again. If you've always seen opinion polls run up to the election a year too, which is the best time they always start doing it, for 2007, 2013, 2017, and 2022, there was always this aspect of the opposition having bits and pieces. 22 was the only different one because we were not having an incumbent. And Raila always polled between, at the minimum, would always get 20-something, but go as high as 34, 35. And the moment then they would pair with Kalonzo and the rest, then it shoots up to 43, to 44, and the president would also be hovering around, which means there's always a significant 15, 20% undecided. and you know, politics is emotional. There's a way things cascade. Let me take you back. In 2022, when it was almost a foregone conclusion that the favorite is Raila Odinga, and when William Ruto picked Rigathi Gachagua as a running mate, the expectation was that it would not amount to much. But the performance of Rigathi Gachagua in a vice presidential or in the deputy presidential debate tilted the scale in the sense that now there was now certainty that there is a joint ticket that has strength, especially within Mount Kenya. And that made a difference. So I see an opportunity whereby covering the 18% for the president is not a problem. That can be achieved. As I've said, there seems to be a market improvement from the...
Without deeping into... Yes. Or pulling any of these people to his side, he can still achieve that 18%?
He will achieve, because that's why I'm saying I'm agreeing and disagreeing with Mutambu. Disagreeing in the sense that there can always be transferability, but agreeing with him that some aspects may not move. Let me give an example. I've seen there are some ODM regions that are still seen to be dragging their feet towards the president, and he seems to he's closing it on it. Let me give 2 specific areas. Look at the coast. It has been captured to be warming towards the president, but has not crystallized. The president has succeeded to completely galvanize the entire ODM brigade in the coast. The same applied to the Maasai lands. So once those ones come together, once those ones move together, because the opposition will struggle to have leading lights from the coast region. So that would mean it easily galvanizes. You go to the Mount Kenya region, the most undecided, then that will be determined. And that's why, for me, I keep an eye on tomorrow's results. Because tomorrow's results...
Thursday's results.
The moment we have a 2-horse race between DCP and UDA, as is playing out now, then that it means then the president will make a case for Mount Kenya. Lastly, you've seen the overwhelming support the presidential ticket has in terms of Professor Kithure Kindiki remaining a running mate. Then that gives you a possibility of the president continuing to gain traction, and it will come from the east coming westwards. Mount Kenya has a penchant of always voting as a block, not a divided block. That's a plus in the sense this way. Based on the kind of reception the president has been receiving in Meru as you come to Tharaka Nithi, that can be an entry point to recover even what seems to be slipping away in the western side of Mount Kenya. So I see it as an opportunity. I'm not even it's just a pointer. Each of the candidates, I think the lessons for this opinion poll is two-way. The president knows what to cover. The president knows the people he has to take keen interest on. In fact, for me, the most interesting place is Western. So Western is now increasingly becoming the fight. And that's why you see Wetangula is fighting for his dear life.
Okay.
I don't know where that one leaves Mudavadi. Because
right.
that is still the question that is hanging.
Yes, the faces of those between President William Ruto and those in the United Alternative Government who ideally would be running for president. Some of them have not even indicated their interest in it, like Babu Owino. I don't know where that came from. I think he's looking elsewhere. But quite a number have expressed the interest. Edwin Sifuna, not really expressed interest, but according to this poll, he's a firm favorite to be a running mate to Kalonzo Musyoka, according to this opinion poll by Infotrak. And it would appear that this somewhat suggests that Kalonzo Musyoka would be the best pick for presidential candidate for the opposition. You can read more on this. They even suggest which combination between Musyoka and the other opposition luminaries would be best bet for them. A very interesting discussion.
Before you cross over,
yes, because I want us to take a break very briefly.
Let me just add a line and say, the expectation of Orkalau is highly accepted from all corners of this republic, including internationally, and is the credibility and capacity of EBC. EBC, in this particular election, they must make sure that the exercise is free, fair, and verifiable. And the elements that we got in belly of intruders who are CSs in this country, and they are untouchable that they did nothing against that. It is an area where we shall condemn in the highest order that we need Orkalau uninterrupted. Leave Orkalau people to vote democratically. And that will give us a result where anybody who feels that he will gauge the election of Orkalau in which way or which way is by the outcome that the IBC will give us.
Yes, and Orkalau is definitely something that we'll have to come back and discuss. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we take a look at matters security or insecurity before we delve